a visitor for you guys. You just got off the plane. Alright, if I can get you guys to be quiet, we're going to start. I know a lot of the parents here have work they need to get to, so I want to make sure that I stay on time, which I have a hard problem doing. Good morning. Alright, you guys can do better than that. Good morning. Much better, much better. Good morning to the parents that have come here today. I'm Officer Montalvo with the Waxhaw Police Department. I am in charge of the D.A.R.E program here and at Waxhaw Elementary School. And it is my pleasure to have you guys come here today for this great celebration of your children going through a 10-week program, which I'm going to get into basically what they've covered over the last 10 to 11 weeks. Before I start that, I really need to thank the people that make this possible every year, and I couldn't do it without the help that I receive from my coworkers, people from the community, my D.A.R.E kids' parents that come to these celebrations and want to contribute. So give me 1 second, I'll go through this really fast. So to start off, I wanted to thank the staff here at Kensington Elementary School, Dr. Clark, Miss Williams, Miss Swafford, Miss Honeycutt, and Miss Wall. Especially I want to thank the 5th grade teachers that allow me to come into their class, get them all excited and crazy, and then have to deal with them when I leave. So Dr. Barron, Miss Feinstein, Miss Kroll, Mrs. Martinelli/Wright, Mr. Uten, and Miss Noble. I would also like to thank Coach K, Miss LaQuire, and Miss Taylor, who I constantly harass and bother every time I do these celebrations, so give them a round of applause. I would like to thank the custodial staff that comes in and helps get the chairs ready, helps clean up, really does it whatever I ask them or need them to do. My volunteers, my bag ladies, I like to call them because they help me set up all their D.A.R.E bags and get everything settled. Miss Salico, Allison Kavanaugh, Danielle Eng, Kristen Ryan, and Carolyn Kirk, who came in and bagged about 150 gift bags with me today, about a week ago. Give them a hand. I'd like to also first start off with thanking James Frazier and Miguel Gallardo, as you can see them in the back over here. They're with Interface Audio Video. Miguel is a D.A.R.E kid parent who I talked to last year, and he basically set this entire sound system up so it sounds fantastic. So he is interested. Every time I ask him, he was up at 6 o'clock in the morning setting up audio, and I could not make this sound fantastic without his help. So thank you so much, Miguel. I would like to also thank Lowe's Home Improvement, Jane and Rich Geis, who own the Waxhaw Creamery, who have been at every single D.A.R.E graduation that I performed. Harris Teeter, the manager Steve and Greg, who provide me with items whenever I ask. They always come through for me. Corey and Elise Worf of Weddington CrossFit, who are helping me plan the after ceremony. Unfortunately, we're going to have to cancel because of the rain today, but don't worry, there will be another day, so kids, don't be upset. All right, it just gives me more time to plan a better celebration, so just be happy about that. Jody and Denise of Fusion Hair Salon, who make Darren look fantastic because he gets a blowout there before every D.A.R.E graduation. I have Holly Scholes, Shannon, and Sierra from Walgreens, who contribute every single year to the presents that I get to give my D.A.R.E SA winners. Is Kelly Archer in? I don't know if Kelly was able to make it. She was not. I'd like to really give a big thank you to Kelly Archer from Landover Corporation. She's the one that does all the work for Millbridge community. She has sponsored my D.A.R.E shirts for the last 2 years, and that is really the biggest money draw on our program. The shirts are expensive. This is the 2nd year in a row that she has stepped up and purchased all the t-shirts for the kids. So even though she's not here, give her a big round of applause, please. Another big thank you to the Waxhaw Explorers. As you can see that they're around here, they are amazing. They do all this work, the labor, constantly. Our Union County Sheriff's Office deputies, I don't know if they were able to make it this morning, they were going to try. So we have Deputy Kennedy, who is the school resource officer for Cupperson High School, and you have Deputy Lorenz, who's at the middle school. I work extremely closely with them. They let me know if any of my kids get out of line or do something wrong, and the first thing I do, again, as you kids graduate from 5th grade and move up to 6th grade, you're still going to see me. I'm sorry. All right? You're still going to be stuck seeing me. I want it to be on a good note. So please, if you have any problems or issues as you move up into middle school, go and see your school resource officers. They're fantastic. They're fantastic. Also, the town of Waxhaw employees that come in and help me at all the events. We have Kayla and Matt in the back. They do all the event planning. Matt makes all this IT stuff work because I can't figure out my computer. As I get older, it gets harder and harder. Also for the Waxhaw Police Department, my Chief Ice standing in the back row. Can you please give him a big round of applause? I've been doing this program. This is my 3rd year doing the program, and I can honestly say there's not one thing that I've gone to my chief and asked for that he has told me no. So I can't explain how much easier that makes my job, and I get all these crazy ideas that pop into my head at like 1 or 2 in the morning, and I can't sleep, and I start writing stuff down of what I want to do, and I go to him, and I have not one time been told, no, we can't do that, or I don't want to do that. He says, whatever you want to do sounds great, go for it. So thank you so much for your support. Thank you very much. And anybody who I left out, I'm so sorry. This has been a crazy morning. You could ask Darren, wasn't this crazy morning? Yeah, so very crazy. All right, so really quickly, I'd just like to start off with a quote from my kids here today. The only person that you should try to be better than is the person you were yesterday. So don't worry if you're not the best, all right? You're not the fastest, you're not the strongest, you're not the smartest. All right, don't worry about all that stuff. All right, all that will come in time. But all you want to do is make sure that you're better than you were yesterday. Just a little bit. You don't have to do a lot. All right? You don't have to make huge leaps and bounds. But as long as you live by that motto, you'll always progress. You'll always be better. So I have so much, so much praise, and I'm so proud of all of you guys this entire year. And I'm just going to go for a little quick bio about myself, and then I'm going to pass this on to my partner over here. For those of you who know me, and for those of you who don't, I became a police officer when I was 21 years old in the New York City Police Department, long way from here. Things have changed. I grew up in Harlem, working, making arrests, chasing people every single day. It was a crazy 21-year career. I was involved in 9/11. I'm lucky to be here today. I have a great wife and daughter who are sitting back there in the pink shirts. And also my role models here, my father, who actually drove down yesterday from New York City. When I first came down here and I applied for the Waxhaw Police Department, I got to say I was a little burnt out from being in the NYPD for 21 years. But I figured this was a small town. This might be a little bit change of pace. When we went through the interview process, they said we'd like to start up the D.A.R.E program again. We think you'd be great at it. And I looked at my lieutenant and I was like, are you crazy? They said, I'm going to be in a school with a whole bunch of 10 and 11-year-old kids going crazy. I'm not used to that. So they said, no, you got to do that. So they sent me to D.A.R.E school, 2 weeks of training. Now, I've been a cop for 23 years now. I've been through all sorts of training. D.A.R.E school was the hardest 2 weeks I've ever had, ever. They crammed so much information in such a short time. It was really, really hard work. They had to break you down as a police officer and rebuild you into somebody that can talk to, relate, and motivate children at every level. So that takes a lot. So if you ever have the opportunity to participate, support, or get involved with the D.A.R.E program, I highly advise it. It is a fantastic program. It has changed me 100%. It has motivated me. I enjoy what I do every single day. I love it. And there's nothing else I want to do. So if there ever comes a time, which I don't think will happen now, but if there ever comes a time where there needs to be budget cuts and the word D.A.R.E comes on the table, please know that I'll be calling you, each and every one of you. I'll be knocking on your doors to come and fight that. But I don't ever see that happening because we have a great program and it's been fantastic. So I'm going to move it on really quickly. The next speaker that we have is, he's my partner now. Since I've come down here and we've started this community program, it's really taken off. It's grown a lot faster than they anticipated. We started a lot of programs as far as Neighborhood Watch Group, National Night Out, the D.A.R.E program, anything I can get my hands into or come up with an idea. And my chief, again, he says yes, and I can't say no to things. So it's grown so much that they realized that I've needed a partner to come and help me out. So when they asked me, who would I like to come and be my partner, they gave me the option of what officer in our department. And I have to say that the gentleman that's going to be coming up here, even before he was in this program, or even before he was in the community side of our department, anytime we had an event and I need somebody to embarrass himself, get in the dunk tank, you name it, I would ask him and he would always say yes. Didn't matter. Had nothing to do with the job that he had, but he still enjoyed it so much that he wanted to come and participate and do the fun stuff. He's a great dancer. I'm not going to make him dance today, maybe later. But I'm going to introduce, this is Officer Fox.
Good morning. So for everyone who does not know me, I am Officer Fox. Okay. A little bit about my backstory. I started when I was 21 as well in the Waxhaw Police Department. I didn't do 21 years in New York. So it was a challenge working with Vic in the beginning. I couldn't understand him. So I started out my career as a patrol officer in the Waxhaw Police Department, and then I moved on. I was fortunate enough to move on to a traffic position in the police department where I received a lot of training, and it was beneficial for me as a young officer. I was very privileged. But then, I think Officer Vic had been down for about a year and a half in the community program at that time, and I saw how much fun he was having, so I was like, well, I want to put in for that. I didn't know that I was actually going to get it. Okay, so he's like, he tells me one day, he said, look, the chief brought me in the office and sat down with me, and he said, look, position's yours, if you want it. I'm like, awesome. Well then, I go meet with Vic, and Vic's like, congratulations, now you get to go to D.A.R.E school. And I'm like, okay. And I'd helped him in the past with the D.A.R.E graduations, and I don't think people realize how much work it really takes to do that, to do D.A.R.E and do the programs, and it takes a lot of after hours. And so I thought it was going to be me just dancing and water tanks and stuff like that. I was wrong. So I went to the D.A.R.E school, and Officer Vic's right, it is the hardest 2 weeks of your life. Okay, you're pushed mentally. Okay, from 6 a.m. to 1 o'clock in the morning, working all the time with different activities. So I come back, I graduate, and he sits me down. He's like, congratulations. Now you're going to help me teach there at Kensington Elementary. And so I'm like, awesome. And then next year you're going to be over. Like, okay. So as we go, okay, I'm a little nervous because I don't know if you realize how much work Officer Vic puts into the D.A.R.E program and everything that he does. I've never met anybody with such an outstanding work ethic. He goes 100% all the time. So those are big shoes to fill. So I was a little nervous. So we start out D.A.R.E week 1. I ride with him. He's coaching me along the way. Look, you'll be fine. Follow my lead. Do what I tell you to do. Okay. And we get out the car, and then it begins. You would think a Hollywood star from LA just got out of the car. Okay? Everybody's, Officer Vic, Officer Vic. I'm like, oh my gosh. So that really inspired me, okay? Because I was nervous, okay? But I realized that I wanted that. I wanted people to look up to me, and I wanted to have a positive influence on people, the younger generation moving up in life. And so after every D.A.R.E week, we would sit down and he would mentor me slightly. He would tell me, look, you did really good on this, you need to improve on this. But one thing that stuck with me, we were having a conversation about how he retired from New York and moved here. And first off, does he look retired? No. Okay, so we started talking about how he retired and talk about how he moved down with his family. He really wanted to take it easy and relax. And he said he remembers sitting in his interview, and when Chief was telling him about what was all entailed in that program, and he committed to it, he told himself 3 words: "I'm all in." And those stuck with me from the time he told me until now, and it really inspired me to want to be like Vic and do better each and every single day and follow his lead with some of that and really try to be all in with everything that I do. So students here today, I challenge you, just like Vic challenged me every single day, I challenge you to be all in everything that you do, whether that's moving on to middle school, into high school, and college. Okay, there are going to be obstacles in your path as you get older and tomorrow. Okay, I encourage you to be all in, whether that's school, sports, family life. Commit 100% on what you're doing and you will eventually succeed. Officer Vic said, you only need to worry about you and doing better, okay, with yourself, right? And I agree with that 100%. You should try to do better each and every single day, but for you, not because someone else is faster. Don't let someone else persuade how you perceive yourself, okay? Try to be better every single day. And take the knowledge that you've learned in the D.A.R.E program. Okay, we talked about bullying, the 5 W's for reporting. Okay, talk about being anonymous. Right, talk about being a good citizen. All those things, take those along with good commitment. Right, being a good citizen is important in life. Okay, you need to contribute. So I just challenge you, every single one of you, to be the all-in 100%, and eventually you will succeed in what you want. Congratulations on their graduation. Thank you.
A little tear to my eye right there. And I want to just touch on one thing that he mentioned about not being able to understand. He couldn't understand my accent. This is a true story, just happened the other day. So he was calling up Fusion Hair Salon to schedule Darren's blowout. And Officer Fox's accent was a little bit too much. And the girl working at Fusion was new and she had never gone through this before. So she kept asking, what? I don't understand. So she goes to her manager, she goes, there's a gentleman on the phone, he's talking about a lion, a fox, and a bear. He goes, I don't know what he's talking about. He's talking about animals. And so Officer Fox is saying to me, Darren, all right, I guess his accent is so thick, she thought he was saying bear. His name is Officer Fox, all right? So all that stuff, and the lion, so it took a little bit, but I thought it was hysterical. When we actually showed up to have the hair blown out, it was a good laugh between all of us, but I don't know who has the worst accent. All right, so the next gentleman that we're going to come have speak up here, I had met him probably just after I started working with the Waxhaw Police Department. My chief said, I have a gentleman I want you to come and meet up with, and he lives in one of the neighborhoods in town, and he wants to get the Neighborhood Watch program regenerated and really get the people inspired to start doing it again. And that's when I met this gentleman. So the first time I met him, I noticed that he was extremely passionate, hardworking, driven, really wanted to do the best, not only for his community, but as I learned more about him, I really appreciated his work ethic and how much passion he puts into everything that he does. So I'm just going to go over some of the few things. He has actually been involved with this school for quite a long time. His daughter attended here in elementary school and is now a junior in the high school. Is that correct? In the high school. His wife Siobhan worked here as in the media center. He has always participated in the Young Author program here as a storyteller. He now is a volunteer at Cupperson High School on their site-based management team. He was involved with Waxhaw Parks, Rec, and on the planning board as well as setting up the Neighborhood Watch program in his neighborhood. I know him as Steve, so it's a hard time, like when I go to introduce him now, when I talk to him, because he's got this new gig now called Maher. All right, so I wanted to give it up for our new mayor, Steve Maher.
It's kind of interesting going third. You have to completely throw these away and come up with something else to say because they stole everything from you. But one thing though, there's a couple observations I can make. You guys are getting a 15-year head start. It took them till 21 to actually learn about D.A.R.E. You're getting this gift early, and that's terrific. Congratulations on that. Second thing I want to say is if you'd all turn around and look at Chief Ice. He's leaning against that wall because he's practicing what D.A.R.E. teaches. Sometimes you have to ask for help, and he asked me for help. Put together a training program for him, and the wall's holding him up right now. He's in pain because we worked out at 5:30 this morning. But I also want you to look at him because he practices one fundamental concept, one fundamental principle that's key. His door is always open. He will help you whenever you bring something to him. It doesn't matter how young you are and how old you are. I can attest that I brought kids in there that were asking for help. I can attest that I walked in the door and said, I'm confused about something. And he helped with that. He will always be there for him. Which leads me to why I wanted to come. As mayor, I get to represent the town. And it's a privilege to congratulate.
Wasn't me.
Okay, what's going on back there? It's a privilege to congratulate you on behalf of every employee in the town for accepting the gift that the D.A.R.E. program gives you. Now, Vic asked me to explain to you what do I mean by a gift. We didn't have D.A.R.E. as a program when I was young, many years ago. But we had something different. It was structured different. We had a different type of school system approach where all the sports were in as a part of the school program, and they weren't as a part of outside organizations. And your coaches acted as D.A.R.E. officers, for lack of a better way to say it. And they taught us a different approach, but it's the same approach. Think, act, rethink. Sounds about the same as to what you've been taught. I spent a lot of time in rethinking, I know, but that's okay. And I have experiences all through my life, including today, where I continue to use what you've been taught day in and day out in your life. And that's the greatest gift that they could give you, a lifetime gift. And you should be very grateful, and we'll come back to that, for that gift that they give you. Now, I know you're looking at me and say, do we believe them or not? So let me give you a couple stories. Just like every kid, I was tempted, first by cigarettes, and I remember to this day, when I had that temptation, all I could see off in the distance was Coach Greg, and I was scared to death, because if I took a puff, Coach Greg would come get me, remind me what I'd been taught, and ask me to rethink what I had done. Go a little bit forward. Sophomore year in high school. By the way, because I didn't take a puff, I never ever saw my best friend Jeff again. He disowned me because he thought smoking was cooler. There are consequences sometimes, but if you stick true to your core values and how you were raised, you'll make the right decision. I don't regret it one bit. Fast forward to high school. This time of year, parents tend to be out and about shopping and stuff. That's code in high school for parents are gone, let's go have a party at his house or her house. At that house, I could have shown up, not partook, but I had to think. The consequence back then was, do I go and be cool? Or do I not go and not suffer the consequence of a year's suspension from playing any participative sport at our high school? I chose sports over the drugs and the alcohol. I didn't have very much of a social life the rest of my sophomore year, but I made two great friends who stood with me, who are still friends to this day. Fast forward. There's somebody in this audience who practices this every day. It's Dr. Clark. She was not afraid to come and ask me and my wife for some help. Here's the situation. Parents, I've sat out there, and there's nothing quite like when you're sitting in the library, standing in the library, going through young authors, and Dr. Clark comes in and says, "Would you like to join me in the office with your wife, lovely wife and daughter?" And she's got that smile on her face. It's not exactly, "Hey, yeah, we're going to go in and just have a little chit-chat." Turned out, our daughter had practiced the think and the act. She spent very little time in the think, though. She was defending herself. In today's world, you'd call it bullying. It was teasing, but it was bullying. And she took an action. The action went too far. Dr. Clark knew that she had to support the decision, but also give her the consequence for taking the action too far. And she also knew that our daughter would never listen to just her. She needed a little extra help from the love and care of her loving father. We gave her the appropriate discipline. We still talk about that as a family. But there's a good example of where later on in life, your own very Dr. Clark practicing what you all learned in the D.A.R.E program, to ask for help. Lastly, and this is a very one, we had a knock on the door. Family member who we hadn't seen 4 years, 4 in the morning, asking for help, strung out on drugs. What do you do? Well, I'll tell you, the think, the act, and the rethink was a perpetual process at that point. I didn't know what to do other than to be there and then ask for help. This is what I mean about the chief. Being there, supportive, not in a judgmental way, but because somebody had dared to ask for help. He was there to help us, and we were there to help our needs. My point in sharing all this is these are real live examples. I've used those principles. I still use them today. It's a lifetime gift that the D.A.R.E program has given you. I hope you take advantage of it. Keep in mind, there's a couple of key things beyond the tool that they gave you. It's always important to say thank you. And the only actions and choices you control are your own. You can't control how people respond. The situation with the person that showed up at our door, she hasn't talked to us since that point. We got her the help she needed. That's not what she wanted to hear. But we got her the help she needed, and she's in a better place. Just that she hasn't figured that out yet. That's okay. You can't control anybody's choices but your own. To Vic's point a minute ago, just be somebody better than what you were yesterday. And then, obviously, you say thanks. And I think it would be very appropriate since he hasn't asked for any thanks yet, for each and every one of you to give I don't get formal with those two. It's Officer Vic and it's Officer Shane. But I would, in closing, be very happy if you guys all gave them a big shout out, round of applause, of thanks for all that they did.
That was an amazing, amazing speech. So for the parents here, really quickly, what have your kids been doing over the last 11 weeks? For those of you who don't know what the D.A.R.E program is, or maybe some of you have gone through it, can I see a show of hands? How many people have actually, as far as the parents, have gone through the D.A.R.E program? All right, not too many. All right. Now keep your hands up if you actually remember your D.A.R.E officer's name. Can anybody remember their D.A.R.E officer's name? What was it? Officer Honeycutt. Actually, in Union County, He must have done a fantastic job because I just had spoken to someone recently and they told me they had a hard time remembering it and it snapped into their head. For all of you guys that are sitting here, when I see you in 10, 15 years, you better remember my name because I work very hard at remembering all of your names. So that's a little bit of a challenge for you. But the D.A.R.E program started in 1983 in Los Angeles with Chief Daryl Gates. They had an extremely bad drug, violent gang problem, and they thought the best way to approach that was to start as young as possible, start with the younger generation, educating them on the pitfalls and the dangers of drug and alcohol and tobacco use, try to build a positive relationship with law enforcement at a young age, that hopefully that would continue as they get older. It has grown since then. It is taught to over 36 million students, 26 million in the United States. It's taught in 75% of all the school districts across the country, and in 43 nations, so it has really evolved. There's been some skeptical criticism over the couple of the years. They sensed that in 2009, they revamped the program, so if you went through the program before 2009, it has changed a lot. All right, it really focuses on making really good decisions. So D.A.R.E now stands for define, assess, respond, and evaluate. Define, what is your problem? All right, figure out what the problem is first, and then assess is try to come up with some solutions. Not every solution is going to be good. You're going to have good choices and some not so good choices. All right, but you always want to try to focus on the best choice for each problem. Then you have R as respond. You're going to pick one of those choices. And then E, evaluate. You're going to reflect on that, look back and say, was that the best choice I could have made? And I always say to my kids, all right, does Officer Vic make mistakes? That's right. Who do I tell you to ask? Do you remember who I told you to ask? Mrs. Officer Vic. She can tell you plenty of mistakes that I made. Trust me. I'm sure she's got a list in her back pocket right now. But the key is that I try to remember what I did wrong and correct that so the next time that I do it, it's not a mistake anymore. So again, always think about that. But the program has changed a lot. In addition to just defining the problems and coming up with solutions, they want the kids to think about consequences, peer pressure, good and bad. Because a lot of times kids feel that peer pressure is only negative, when really, I mean, where is positive peer pressure? You know? So I encourage my kids to positive peer pressure each other into doing better, trying out for new activities. Push yourself. All right? You got to always keep moving. Don't be stagnant. My dad wakes up every single day, 5 a.m. All right? When I come downstairs to make coffee, as soon as he gives somebody in the kitchen, he's up. He's in the hey, good morning. He has more energy than anybody I've ever met in my life. And if you like listening to people talk, go talk to my father after graduation today. You won't be disappointed. All right, so I'm going to read some names. After the 10-week program, the children are all responsible to write an essay, and that essay is reviewed by myself, and Officer Fox, and some of the teachers, and we try to come up with essay winners in each class, as well as essay winners for the entire grade. So I just want to recognize them. So as I call your name, I want you guys to please stand. And can I get two explorers, Bailey? Bailey and Casey, explorers. As I call your name, I want you guys to stand. All right, and I have a special pin for the essay winners. And please hold your applause. So just take a handful each. First, Jackie Diaz-Lopez, would you please stand? You can stand right, you can come up here. Yeah, you come up here. Just stand right in front up here, and then we'll hand you the pins out. Emery Donlin, you can just stand where you are. Vina, I don't know if she's here. Vina, there you are. And I'm sorry, I'm gonna butcher this last name. Rachakanda? All right. Give me a hand for that. Timmy Salico. Mackenzie. Chismadia. Ariana Cordero. Brendan Ryan. Katie Granger. Paige Maher. Haley Truesdale. Ella Abbott. Emma Edmonds, you can stand too. Kason Turner. Garrett Allen. Olivia, hello. You can come on this side a little bit more, Garrett. You can fill her in on this side. Meredith Weselick. Another name I'm going to have a hard time Quincy. Bial Brzezinski. Is that even close? Victor Montalvo. And Joshua Simmons. If you please come up here. Would you please give each one of them an essay pin? And I have some other gifts that I'm going to give you as well. Raise your hand if you're my first place essay winner. Okay. Garrett.
Way to go, Garrett.
You're going to have to wait for yours. Second place winners, can you raise your hands? Yeah. Third place winners, raise your hands. All right, can you please give them all a big round of applause? You don't come out of your seats, except for you three. You're going to take those seats. You can't go anywhere yet. All right, as you can see, Mackenzie does not have a D.A.R.E. line, unfortunately. These are my three top essay winners. We have Emery, we have Emma, and we have Mackenzie. As you can see, Mackenzie doesn't get one. Do we know why Mackenzie doesn't get one? Each week when we teach the program, we bring Darren into the classroom. The kids get to play with him. They part his hair, they braid it, they make fun of him, they do stuff to him. But he comes with me all the time. He rides in my car every single day. I take him everywhere. So this one's special to me. This guy is with me forever. So whoever comes in first for their essay contest, he gets to take my D.A.R.E. home. I give up my own personal D.A.R.E. to the first place essay winner. So Mackenzie, congratulations. You should get a medal too. And last, we do provide backpacks to the kids, and I have Walgreens every single year they have come up and filled those backpacks with school supplies and goodies and stuff for the kids. So Shannon from Walgreens, can you please come up? I have 3 backpacks for our children, and thank you for all you do. Just Shannon, come right there. And we're still not done with prizes, girls, I'm sorry. That's why I tell you guys to work hard. All right, and the last one, we only have one more for you guys. So also Harris Theater has been gracious enough to always assist me. We have 3 bouquets as well for our beautiful girls up here who've worked so hard. Thank you so much for giving me advice. I really appreciate your heart so much of this. All right, so now here comes the hard part for these 3 girls. They get all the gifts and fun stuff. Now comes work. So if you could please put those on your chair. I'm going to have each one of them read their essays that they put in and wrote that we had a common grade, and they're going to come up here and read their essays aloud to all of you guys. So please give a hand to Emery.
situation and you don't know what to do to get out of it? Well, if you have, do you know what D.A.R.E is? If you were ever in a bad situation and you have D.A.R.E classes in school, you could use some of the resistance strategies your D.A.R.E officer taught you. In D.A.R.E, you will learn many important things that will help you make decisions now and later in your life. First of all, in D.A.R.E, we learn many things that are important to know as we grow up. One of these things is smoking, drugs, and alcohol are bad for your health. Another one of these things that we learn are resistance strategies. The resistance strategies we learned were avoid the situation, strengthen numbers, walking away, saying no while giving a reason or excuse, and changing the subject. Also in D.A.R.E classes, we use something called the D.A.R.E decision-making model, or DDMM. The D.A.R.E decision-making model helps us make safe and responsible choices based on a situation that could actually happen. We are given these situations out of our D.A.R.E books, and we must make wise and safe decisions that will determine what that person should do. I try to always remember this for when I get older and might need it. Finally, I plan to remember all I have learned in D.A.R.E for when I get older and might need it. I think D.A.R.E is a very helpful tool to keep us healthy throughout our lives. To remember all of the stuff I have learned in D.A.R.E classes, I will keep and remember all of my D.A.R.E books and other supplies. Planning to remember all of this could get me out of a bad situation one day. Now you know what I have learned in D.A.R.E, how I use the D.A.R.E decision-making model, and how I plan to use what I learned to make safe and responsible choices. I think D.A.R.E is a very helpful tool for determining how you will make safe, healthy, and responsible choices.
All right, our next essay winner is actually one of my neighbors, Super Kid. I know her family very well, and she surprises me and inspires me every time I teach the class. So please give it up for Emma Edmonds.
D.A.R.E is one of my favorite things in 5th grade. It teaches kids not to smoke or drink. Most importantly, kids learn to be nice to each other and avoid bullying, and also not to be a bully. They can show what they've learned, how they use the D.A.R.E decision-making model, and they can use what they know to help them make decisions now or later on. I learned that drugs, alcohol, and smoking are not good for you and can do lots of harm and damage to your body. Also, you can tell when someone is confident in themselves by just their voice. If someone comes into school with their head down or talking very loud, you know that they aren't very confident. You can also tell when someone is very demanding because they will come in and maybe start yelling, maybe even start messing with people stuff. You should also treat people how you would want to be treated and don't be a bully. Let's say that I was going to play football with a lot of boys and all the girls started to make fun of me. I would start to get sad first and then I would get really mad. I would have to use the D.A.R.E decision-making model. First, I would define what was going on. The girls were making fun of me. Then I would assess and pick, should I tell someone or just walk away? Next, I would respond and I would tell someone like a trusted adult that I didn't like it. Finally, I would evaluate. When I evaluate, I would ask myself if I made the right choice/decision. I plan that if I see anyone smoking or drinking or even doing drugs and they ask me if I want to do it too, I will remember how much it can harm you. I will just avoid the situation by walking away or even just saying no. If someone is bullying me, I would tell a trusted adult, walk away, or ask them to stop. If I was going to say something mean to someone, I would stop and think, is that how I would like to be treated? And if not, then I wouldn't say it. I also plan to stand up for someone when they are being bullied, or if I see someone being bullied, I would not be a bystander and get involved. Kids are taught so much in D.A.R.E. They can show and tell everything they've learned, how they use the D.A.R.E decision-making model in situations, and also can use what they have learned to help them in life. D.A.R.E has so much to teach kids, and kids have so much to learn from D.A.R.E. At the end of D.A.R.E, kids know not to use drugs, not to smoke, and even that too much alcohol is bad for you. They also learn never to be a bully, even if you're just trying to joke. Some people take it more seriously. D.A.R.E is a great learning time for kids, and kids learn that being responsible counts in a lot of situations. I love D.A.R.E.
All right, and our last essay winner has a sister as well that was a third place winner at Waxhaw Elementary School 2 years ago. So I guess it runs in the family. Again, another super family. This is one thing that I find that, with our essay winners, I do know a lot of their families, and the support that they have and the involvement from their parents really shows through in their work, in their attitude, and their personalities. So I want to give you guys a round of applause as well for being such great parents. All right, Mackenzie, you nervous? All right, read slow. Don't worry, you got this.
Have you ever said just one time can't hurt? Well, it can, but the D.A.R.E program will help you just like it has helped me. D.A.R.E is an amazing program teaching kids the importance of making safe and responsible choices. D.A.R.E stands for Define, Assess, Respond, and Evaluate. These are ways to help you when you have to make tough decisions. During D.A.R.E, you are taught many things by a police officer. They talk to you about risky situations, safe and responsible choices, resistance strategies, and responding to peer pressure, as well as many other things that one may have to deal with and how to overcome these issues. The D.A.R.E decision-making model is the first thing you learn in D.A.R.E. This is the problem-solving method. Define, assess, respond, and evaluate. Define means describe the problem, challenge, or opportunity. Assess means what are your choices. Respond means make a choice using the facts and information you have gathered. Evaluate means review your decision and make sure you made a good choice. Secondly, you will learn about your health and how tobacco and alcohol is bad for your body and how it can do terrible things to your body. Some effects of alcohol that you will learn in one of your discussions is loss of coordination, poor judgment, memory loss, loss of self-control, and slow reflexes. You will also learn that tobacco can cause heart disease, lung cancer, bad breath, yellowing in teeth, dry skin causing wrinkles, and many more upper respiratory problems. When one uses chewing tobacco, they can get mouth cancer and tooth loss. This is how bad these types of things can be. After that, you will be taught about making safe and responsible choices. For this concept, you should use the D.A.R.E decision-making model to help you figure out how to make safe and responsible choices. An example would be, if someone asks you to ditch school, you can say no and change the subject. Also, if you or someone else is experiencing bullying, you should tell a trusted adult right away. These are examples of situations where one may have to make a safe and responsible choice. Next, you will learn about stress. Some signs of stress are frustration, sweaty hands, fast heart rate, and butterflies in the stomach, as well as many other things. To help you relieve stress, you can count backwards, take a deep breath, exercise, or do what makes you feel most comfortable. Something else you learn in D.A.R.E is communication styles. The three big communication styles are confident, demanding, and unsure. Confident communication is when you say your opinion while still respecting others. Demanding communication is when you act hostile or are attacking or harming others. Unsure communication is when you are scared or unwilling to stand up for yourself in a calm manner. There are also the 5 W's: who, what, when, where, and why. These are the things you need to know to report bullying. When reporting to a trusted adult, you need to know who the person was, what happened, when did it happen, where did it happen, and why did you take the time to help. I have used the information I gathered in D.A.R.E during my life by making sure when I am stuck in a problem and I don't know how to respond to it, I use the D.A.R.E decision-making model. In my life, I know there will be times I have to make tough decisions, and since I learned D.A.R.E, I feel it will help me make better choices. When I leave 5th grade, I will take everything I learned in D.A.R.E with me and remember it for tough times. I learned D.A.R.E, but I know some other kids did not get a chance to learn it, so I can teach other kids to help them with tough decisions. I can also teach my family about D.A.R.E to help them with tough decisions as well. I plan to use what I've been taught about making safe and responsible decisions by cheering up someone when they are stressed, helping someone if they are being bullied, or if I cannot, I will report the bullying to a trusted adult. I also won't go near people who choose to do bad things for their health because I want to make sure I live a healthy lifestyle. I will always use the D.A.R.E information whenever I am in a tough situation or dangerous place. The D.A.R.E program has taught me how to make safe and responsible choices during my life. When I am with family or friends, I will use the D.A.R.E information I learned. My 2 amazing D.A.R.E officers, Officer Vic and Officer Fox, have taught me so much and are great teachers that help me understand the D.A.R.E program. The D.A.R.E program will help me not just now, but also in the future. I hope you can experience D.A.R.E and see how much you will learn from it.
How's that for an essay? All right, at this time, I'm going to have each teacher come up and have the students come to receive their D.A.R.E diplomas. Please hold your applause until all the students from each class have received them and have gone back to their seats, and then we'll do one at a time. We're going to go in alphabetical order, so Dr. Brown, would you please come up?
Dr. Barron's class, please stand. McKenna Baker. Lily Beard. Kyle Bennett. Drayden Carlton. Maddie Clark. Nicholas Crowland. Jackie Diaz Lopez. Georgia Hughes. Aiden Comito. Caitlin Kornberg. Michael Mann Jr. Matthew McDougall. Sean McGinnis. Tanya Moreno. Vina Rashakonda. Sophia Ryder. Timmy Salico. Dylan Sinople. Parker Steedley. Katie Wahab. Georgia Weaver. Emma Weldon. Please give a round of applause.
I would, Ms. Feinstein, please come up.
Mrs. Feinstein's class, please stand up. Marissa Boslin. Mackenzie Chismedia. Ariana Cordero. Cameron Enos. Robert Figueroa. Hannah Green. Ella Joyner. Ryan Casey. Joshua Kurtz. Gabby Cushman. Madison Love. Emma Masiuli. Luke Matthews. Will Parrish. Jaden Robinson. Trent Robinson. Brendan Ryan. Kanaya Salam. Mark Salico. Marianne Serino. Grayson Strickland. Alexandra White. Madeline Wolf. Congratulations, Mrs. Feinstein.
Please stand up. Maya Beard. Caitlin Briggs. William Carr. Kira Daniker. Diego Escobar. Caitlin Granger. Dylan Hargrove. Alex Hodell. McKenna Johnson. Ashley Kim. Paige Maher. Sang Wen Lee. Isi Nussbaum. Saket Pettyready. Logan Sellers. Olivia Simon. Nolan Stretchko.
Amari Allison. Madison Plaster. Sierra Blum. Nicholas Fernandez. Devin Fitzgerald. Simon Baudette. Delaney Hammond. Sanders Jason. Nathan Johnson. Matthew Kirk. Sydney Ladd. Emily Mizrahi. Miana Mordecai. Sarah Peruz. Matthew Cohorns. Logan Preddy. Happy birthday. Alexandra Restrepo. Gabrielle Smith. Matthew Thigpen. Brandon Tiseo. Jason Turner. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Uten's class. Can you please stand? As you get your diploma, come back down the center aisle and fill in so that way we can keep everybody moving.
Garrett Allen. Sophia Amil. Vaughn Beard. Madison Botting. Ainsley Brown. Seth Cohen. Becca Cornett. Anthony Dickinson. Esteban Ferrer. Marissa Gonzalez. Reese Gorel. Olivia Hello. Vicentia Kibler. Davis Kroger. Olivia Margulies. Sydney Marsh. Hayes Miller. Zymil Patterson. Brady Pruitt. Brooke Wayne. Nathan Rios. Jacqueline Roll. Meredith Westlake. Peyton Williams. And Gigi Ying. All right, let's give a round of applause for Kristen Noble.
Christopher Valentine. Quincy Vilabreski. Abby Brown. Daniela Carrillo. Francesca Cipriano. Daniela Gladden. Campbell Gomo. Joshua Hanley. Colin Herring. Christopher Kontakis. Victor Montalvo. Selena Knock. Sean O'Day. CJ Aceduro. Michaela Pruitt. Aiden Quintana. Nora Roman. Jacob Sherrill. Joshua Simmons. Claire Sofsian. Mikey Straws. Natalie Taylor. Hayden Ward. Congratulations, Ms.
Let's give the entire 2015 Kensington Elementary D.A.R.E School Class one more round of applause. All right, now comes the fun stuff. I appreciate the parents for sticking it out this long. We always like to try to do a demonstration for the kids, and this year is no different. I try to change it up a little bit. So when I call your name, please come up here. Leave your diploma on your seat. Casey Johnson, will you please come up, stand over here. Stand right up on stage, everybody, don't get nervous. Sarah Peruzzi, where are you, Sarah? Come up here. Rebecca Cornett. Peyton Williams. Stand on that side. Victor Montalvo. Nora Roman. Stand on that side. Kyle Bennett. Kyle, stand on this side, buddy. You guys stand on this side. Jackie Diaz-Lopez. I'm going to have you stand right over here. Robert Figueroa. Emma Meschioli. Dylan Hargrove and Ella Swabber, please come up. Make sure I got enough here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. One of you on that side? Ella, you come on this side. All right, Casey, can you please reach into your envelope? Casey is going to hand you guys a $5 bill. All right, it's brand new, it's pristine. Take it, do not do anything with it. I want you to hold it very carefully. This money was actually provided by drug dealers in the town of Waxhaw. So I'd rather give it back to the community and do an event. So everybody say thank you very much. All right, so what do we have? Who can tell me what we have here? Casey, what do you have?
Abraham Lincoln.
You have Abraham Lincoln in your hand. That's amazing. Victor, what do you have in your hand? What is it? It's $1? What number is that? Mr. Noble, are you not teaching these kids? 5 and 1? All right, let's, Dylan, what is that? It is a $5 bill. Does it look pretty? No, or does it look pretty? All right, it looks pretty. Brand new, shiny, never been used. First time it was touching, it was going to you guys. All right, what can you do with that $5 bill, Ella? Can spend it on something. What else can you do?
Donate it?
You could donate it. That is a very, very noble thing to think of. Yes, you can donate it. All right, now what I want you to do is take that beautiful $5 bill, and I want you to fold it in half. Go ahead, fold it in half. Really tight crease. Just one time. Really, really, really tight. All right, now open it up. All right, now what do you have, Rebecca? Yes, you still have a $5 bill. All right, there's a crease in it. Is it? Can you still use it?
Yes.
All right, how much is it worth now, though? It's still worth $5, but it's got a crease in it, though. You can still use that? All right. Now what I want you to do is, I want you to crumple it up into a ball. Oh yeah, crumple it up. Go ahead, crumple it. Crumple that brand new $5 beautiful bill into a ball. Don't stick it in your pocket yet. I didn't tell you guys could have it. All right, now you have a $5 bill in a ball. Is that right? All right, now unfold it. Straighten it all out. All right, Robert. How does that $5 bill look now?
Crumpled.
Does it look as pretty as it did the first time?
No.
No. What is it worth now, though? Is it still $5? Raise your hand if you still think that this is worth $5. Sarah doesn't think it's worth $5. I'll give you $1. All right, I was going to give you $1 for it if you didn't think it was worth $5. Yes, still worth $5. Now, are you ready now? Crumple it back up into a ball. All right, put it on the ground. All right, now I want you to step on it. All right, now pick up your $5 bill. That beautiful $5 bill, it's not looking so beautiful right now. Open that up now. Now, Sarah, what is that? What do you have now?
$5 bill.
Still $5? Rebecca, what do you have?
Still $5.
Victor?
It should have been me.
But is it still $5 bill? Yeah? What can you do with that $5 bill now, though, since it's all wrinkled? Can you still spend it? Is it still worth $5? Sure. Anybody up here thinks it's not worth $5? Jason, I'll give you $1 in my pocket right now. You want $1 for that $5 bill? I'll give you $1 and you give me that $5 bill? You sure? All right, listen, anybody who wants to make that trade, I'll make that all day long. All right, so now this is what I want you to do. I want you to look at that $5 bill and say, I don't like you, $5 bill. Say it loud so everybody here can hear it. All right, so now you told the $5 bill, no, I don't like you. So now what's it worth? Who can tell me what it's worth now? Raise your hand. Sarah, what's it worth?
$5.
Is it still worth $5? Jackie, is it still worth $5? It is worth $5. Why is it still worth $5? Who can tell me? Why do you think, Jason? Because the President of the United States signed it. So if he signs my sneakers, is that worth $5? No? All right. Yes. Why is it worth still $5?
Because even though you crumpled it up, it didn't change.
It didn't change at all. It's still worth $5. All right, the symbolism to this is, and if you guys haven't seen this before, this $5 bill is you. You're that $5 bill. All right, some days you're going to feel like that $5 bill. Someday you're going to feel like somebody crumpled you up into a ball, somebody stepped on you, maybe somebody said things about you that made you sad or upset. All right? You guys have to understand that you're always worth something. No matter what anybody else says, no matter what anybody else does to you, you're worth something. You're worth something to all your parents that showed up here today. All right? Because they care about you. They love you, and they want to see you guys all succeed. Officer Fox and myself, we care about you, and I want you to succeed. You're worth something to me always. All right? All the teachers that come here every single day to teach you and make you better people and make you grow and make you think about life in general and how you're going to be as you grow older, you're worth something to them. So don't ever forget that. All of you guys are important up here. Doesn't matter what anybody says to you, doesn't matter what anybody does to you, that worth is built into you. You can't take that away from you. The only person who can take that worth away from you is yourself. All right, so I want you to think about that, and now you guys all have to give me the $5 back. Yeah. Should I let them keep it? That $5 is yours to keep. Now listen, you have, there's some things you can do with it. All right, you can spend it. You want to go buy a soda and Sour Patch Kids, you can go and do that. Emma, if you want to donate it, you can donate it. All right? If you want to take that $5 bill and hang it up on your wall, all right? And then you can always look at it, and that day that you're not feeling so good, or maybe you're feeling a little bit sad, or maybe you didn't get the best grade on your test, all right? You can look at that $5 bill and say, I'm worth something. All right? Because you're worth something to everybody here. You're worth something to me. And I care about you. All right? I love you. All right, so please give a big hand to our demonstration. Please be quiet, we are almost done. At this point, Dr. Brown would like to just come up, say some quick words.
Creating a wonderful community is not easy and it's not automatic. And one of the ways that great communities happen is when individuals decide to give of themselves to make the community a better place. And one of the things I want to say is that I'm really grateful to the Waxhaw Police Department, and especially to Chief Ice, for putting community service at the top of the list of the police department. You guys can be really proud of that. I believe the Chief is gone, but give him a hand anyway. Officer Vic and Officer Shane have been teachers to the kids this year in D.A.R.E, and they've given a lot of time for that. But it's not just teachers that they've been. They've given themselves and shown what real citizens are like, what people who care about others, who care about the community, who want to make it a better place. They've shown that every day. They've been friends to your kids. They've spent time at lunch and recess, and they've been the kind of people that you really want your kids to know. Kids, I want you to stand up and give a big round of applause to Officer Vic and Officer Shane.
Thank you very much. All right, in closing, I'd just like to say, I saw this quote on somebody's Facebook page the other day, and I thought it was an amazing quote, and I thought it pertained a lot to what we're doing here in this program and what the kids have gone through and what I try to instill in them each and every week. So this is actually a quote by Denzel Washington, who says, "At the end of the day, it's not about what you have or even what you've accomplished. It's about who lifted you up and who you've made better. It's about what you give back." And I believe that. And as Officer Fox said, when I say that I'm all in, I'm all in. I don't ever say no to people, except for my wife sometimes. Other than that, I don't say no to anybody. But I always try my best to give back to the community and the kids and every event that I work. All right, I want you to always feel comfortable coming up to me and saying hello. So in closing, as we leave here today, remember all that you have learned in the past 10 weeks. The bad health effects of smoking, alcohol, and drugs, the consequences that come with the risks we take, how we deal with stress, the resistance strategies that help us resist negative peer pressure, how important it is to confidently communicate and also be an effective listener, to have empathy for people that need our help, to never be a bystander, and to always stand up to bullying. Make sure that you have a help network in place that you can count on when it is you that needs help. And last, to always be a good citizen. I want to see you in the years to come and have you come up to me and tell me something that was inspirational. How you have become a role model to others. Be proud of yourselves and feel special of what you have accomplished. That's because you are special. Each and every one of you here today. Carry that feeling on past today, past this year, on to next year, and every year after that. Be the next group of role models that others look up to. Make all of us here proud, but first and foremost, make yourself proud. You've earned it. Congratulations, Kensington D.A.R.E class of 2015. I'm sorry, there is somebody that wasn't originally on the program, shows up every year, it's really a pain. He just wanted to say a few words, so for the parents, please bear with me. I know this has been a little bit longer than we thought. So I don't know if you guys want to hear him. If not, you know, nothing I can do about it. Just please stay in your seats. If even you think about leaving, don't leave yet. Don't stand on them. You can come out, sir. That's Sir Bernard. Please stay in your seats. Oh yeah. Oh! Stay in your seats. Sir Burke. And thank you, everybody, for coming. He will be available to take some photographs with if your parents would like to come and take pictures. So thank you very much, everybody, for coming out.